Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago and beyond. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. This is episode 645. And Cecil, I don't even want to say this out loud. I think we might be getting closer to something actually mattering with Trump.
Yeah,
this feels different, man.
Man, we talked about it on the stream tonight, but man, the stuff that they photographed on his fucking Carnival Cruise carpet is seriously damning. And it's so damning, folks. Here's the thing. Here's why I want you to know it's so damning. They have to in order for them to really sort through the papers, they need to appoint somebody to sort through the papers because some of the FBI agents that were there didn't even have the clearance to look at some of this stuff and had to get special permission.
That's some serious shit, dude.
That's some secret shit, yo. And I just want to say this before you continue. Just one thing. Yeah. If you are one of these people who's defending Trump, make it Obama.
Right.
Make it Obama and tell me what you think.
Hillary.
Make it Obama right now. Make it Obama.
Right.
And then be like, Obama, they busted into his place and he had fucking a shit ton of top secret documents. Make it Obama and tell me what you think.
Right. And you're cool. Yeah. You're just like, whatever.
Because the Hillary argument is that she had some shit on a private server or something, but that wasn't top secret. That was just her communications that were in office.
But what I'm saying is imagine how fucking upset they would be if the Secretary of State who has access to top secret documents, what if she had pieced out
with a bunch of documents.
With a bunch of top secret shit. But
make it anybody else.
Make it anybody else.
Yeah. But make it Obama for you to really
drive
understand, to really drive it home. Make it Obama.
Yeah. I think the overwhelming simplicity of this really basic crime is what makes this so easy. There's nothing complicated here. It's there because it really isn't and the different pre-defenses that Trump keeps offering online through his true things or whatever they constantly are contradictory. First there was nothing there. And then it's but then I also declassified all. And the thing is even if he declassified all of it, none of that would matter. You can't take anything.
Just take it with you.
You can't.
That's declassifying the fucking the West Wing and taking it with you.
Right. Yeah. The thing is you are not allowed to take that shit home.
It's like taking fucking the presidential limo with you.
Right. It's not yours, chuckle man. Fuck.
That's mine. I own that shit. Fuck you.
I think, unlike the call with the Ukrainian President Zelensky and that seemed fairly clear cut, but then it got muddied in with the Russian investigation. So they purposely muddied that water and confused the issue with then the January 6th thing. There's all these different actors involved in it. And there's a whole mob who performed the action. And did you incite the mob? And there's some kind of, to me, it's fairly clear cut, but I can see how you can make that. There's nothing complicated about, I stole shit and took it home. Yeah. That's it.
The only thing that I've heard so far from the other side is, whataboutism?
Yeah.
But you're there's no real analog.
There's no analog.
There's no analog.
No.
There's not we can't just be oh yeah, and that one time they had stuffed fucking papers in the fucking Obama's dog and he took them home or whatever. None of that.
There's nothing.
There's none of that.
There's nothing.
So that you can't do that. What I have seen is whataboutism with Hillary and that she had secret documents. No, she didn't. You don't understand. You literally don't even understand what her case was, what that whole thing was about, that investigation. I don't want to call it a case. That investigation was about.
Right.
It was not about that. It was about it was about her using private email servers for her work email.
Right.
That's what it was about.
And they investigated the shit out of that.
And they investigated for a year, man.
And she was investigated by her political rivals.
She was investigated for that and Benghazi for if you add that up, that's 3.5 years of time that they investigated.
Yeah, man. And there was 9 Benghazi investigations.
And they even passed a fucking law. Trump did.
Yeah.
Specifically in this case because he is accusing her of doing this.
Right. Yeah. And
he may be prosecuted for the law that he made.
For his post hoc law to lock her up.
Yeah.
Right? That is this is just, you stole this shit, man.
Yeah.
You flat out stole this shit.
Yeah.
There's no there's no executive privilege once you're no longer the executive. That's not a thing anymore, asshole.
What do you want this stuff for?
Right.
What do you want this stuff for? Like I fucking get I wanted to keep fucking Marcone's fucking bouquet he gave to Melania or whatever.
Sure.
Sure, whatever.
Trinkety shit.
I get that. It felt like a gift to me. I can even forgive that.
It's very understandable.
That and be like, you know what? You're right. I would think the same thing. I was in the office, but he felt like he gave me a gift. And so it was like a bottle of wine or whatever. And I wanted to take it with me. It came in a nice little basket. I didn't realize it was mine. Even if that was what was happening, I think all of us would just be like, okay,
be a nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But this, when they're laying shit out that the FBI can't, has to look away from, fucking mom is naked.
Yeah, right.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Did you ever go when you were a kid? Did you ever go see an R-rated movie with your folks
and then put their hand over?
And they put their hand over.
That's what I'm talking about.
I went and saw one of the Police Academy movies, and my dad, there's going to be fucking titties, and my dad covers up my eyes. The fucking FBI was like, whoa, cover your shit up. We can't see this.
Merrick Garland has to come in and hold his hands over their eyes and tell them what to do. That's not a normal level of security stuff. And then to have it in a place that's so insecure.
Well, they had a padlock.
You got to think.
A padlock.
I know, they had a padlock. I mean, how many international spies are thwarted by a simple master lock?
Can you imagine the KGB shows? I know there's no KGB. Don't fucking send me an email.
No, don't send it.
He's locked. I cannot.
He's locked.
I would go to Ace Hardware buy bolt cutter, but it is a lot of work. I am out of credit on my Uber credit. I cannot get all the way to Ace and all the way back. It's not worth.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Wait, but this is a thing that they couldn't even look at, that is held in an office for a very long time. Guys, look at your watch and figure out what time it is.
Yep.
He left office how long ago? It's been unsecure for how long? This is a place, this isn't just his home either. This is a place where international people fly in and out of all the time. This is a compounding of problems when you think about the logistics and the problems with this.
And some of the documents, they're saying that some of the documents relate specifically to our foreign assets. They're talking about our spies.
Yeah.
You're taking documents that is naming our spies, man.
Yeah, that guy, with these documents, you could sink our battleship.
Right.
You would know where.
Right. Yes. You'd be like, oh, B6. It's fucking B6.
You know exactly whether it was Mr. Mustard in the fucking
in the drawing room with the fucking rope
or whatever. But seriously, it's one of these things that, and I get it, right? I understand the gravity behind this, but the other side is genuinely rabid about what's happening. And I hope, and this is what I think is going to happen, regardless of the election results, after the election, if anything's going to happen, I think it's going to happen then.
After the election.
I don't think they're going to do anything before the election.
I hope they don't, because
I don't think they will.
It would send a bad political message.
It sends a bad political message. It motivates a base, possibly motivates a base, but it also could spur political violence in a big way.
Absolutely.
And I think all three of those things are bad.
Yep.
I'd like to make sure that they think that they're safe and then arrest their leader. That's what I'd like to see. Because not because I want to see their leader go away, because I'm ready to defeat him in the marketplace of ideas, but he stole all our marketplace of ideas and he hid them in his cellar.
And you know what? I think he stole them so he could fucking sell them on a different marketplace.
He might have. There's a possibility.
I don't know
why he sold them. I don't know why he stole them, but I can't put my head around why you would have them.
Exactly, dude.
I could, if somebody gave those to me, I wouldn't even know what to do with them.
Well, I would. I'd fucking panic and call the government and be like, take it back. Take it back. It says skiff on it. I'm not even allowed to, some of this shit, you're not even allowed to open in rooms that are not secure rooms. There's fucking special rooms where you can't bring your fucking cell phone into, where you got to look at these fucking documents. And some of that shit is the shit that this motherfucker had just on his fucking golf resort.
It is not a fucking just average paperwork.
Right.
And the fact that the Republicans are defending this is despicable. It's gross. Yeah. Because then you can't fall back on the we are for American security or whatever. Because if you're willing to give up all, and how the fuck, here's the other thing I gotta ask. We saw what happened in January 6th when there was this weirdness with the Secret Service. They lost all their fucking tweets or all those
text messages are gone.
there's like several government departments that have always sort of been on the side of the Republicans.
Yeah, like a lot of them.
Are you now going to stop and be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, we're in a position where I know that it's another political witch hunt. Man, for real, the guy stole top secret fucking documents. Then the other thing that happened is they fucking stormed the Capitol like a fucking siege, man. Yeah. Like this is not political like theater.
Yeah.
Like this is existential threats to our fucking democracy. And that's not an exaggeration.
No,
it just is. Like, what if January 6th had gone the way the rioters had wanted it to go?
Sure.
Right? What if they hadn't lost that fight? Same thing with like, you stole a bunch of documents. Well, what if those documents were fucking leaked? What if they were stolen? What if like some fucking this is like big deal shit. This isn't just like, I don't like the way you're doing your politics, so I'm going to look and see if you got a blowjob once by an intern.
Yeah.
Like this is big deal stuff.
Yeah, this is
big deal stuff.
If what happens, and I don't know if this is the case, but what happens if some of those documents make their way back to our intelligence community as a way to say that those documents were leaked? What happens then?
Right.
Because at a certain point, like I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but we kill people who do that.
Yeah,
like we kill people who do that. That's like you get murdered for that. They fucking murder you for that. That's happened in the past. You will I don't think that has changed. I think that's still the same.
I think it's still the same. Treason is still.
That's not a thing that they say like, oh, we're just going to put you away forever. I think they kill you.
Yeah, treason. I mean, I think the last executions. I don't think I'm wrong. I think the last executions for treason were the Rosenbergs.
Yeah.
Who were executed. Yeah. But like, not that long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not it's not some fucking musket times.
No.
Like we're talking about it's the nuclear secrets.
Yeah, sure.
So it's not fucking musketed times, you know?
It's a long time, but it's not that long. So,
right.
But I mean, think of what happens if, he gets tried and something like this happens and it gets leaked that he did let some of these things go.
Oh, I know.
Some of these things.
I know. It's just, so I think the simplicity of the theft is going to be what undoes it.
He had everything. He had everything he needed, right? They had botched this investigation, put somebody in charge to kind of put that, swipe that under the rug, which was the Mueller report. Kind of, look at it, but then not make any judgments. So I'm not going to make any judgments. Okay. Right. And then Barr, basically redacted a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And so he had it sealed up.
Yep.
He could have coasted by and probably had a second term
if
he wouldn't have done some of the like craziest, stupidest shit ever.
Yeah.
And he could have, like if he wasn't such a fuck knuckle, he could have really genuinely left his and the far white nationalist right's mark on America in a bigger way.
His insane hubris is the thing that ultimately, hopefully, will be the reason. Because, if he had not mishandled COVID as grotesquely as he did, if he had just mishandled COVID but accepted the defeat of the election, then he would be able to come back in 24 as a stronger candidate.
Yeah.
And he would have gotten much richer in the intervening 4 years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But like, everything he does, he's shooting himself in the foot because he doesn't believe in his own invincibility.
Yeah.
He believes that he is invincible. He believes that he is untouchable. He believes that like he can grab him by the pussy because he's famous. And that's what he's always been able to do. And it's like,
I guess he told us that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, motherfucker from the jump has told us exactly who I can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and not lose a vote. I can grab him by the pussy if you're famous enough. The guy's told us from day one
who he
that
is.
He's a liar and a thief and
told
a grifter and a narcissist.
Told us who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single bird in the sky is a robot. The United States government basically massacred 12 billion birds, beautiful living birds, using crop dusting airplanes, flying over the states over the course of 40 years. Now we live in a world where there's 12 billion robotic birds watching us every single day.
So this is actually a transcript of a Fresh Air episode.
Yeah, we listened to a Fresh Air episode today.
And I just got to start by saying, Terry Gross is a fucking legend.
What a fresh air. What a breath of fresh air Terry Gross is.
She has been kicking ass for so long.
Does anybody do a better interview than Terry Gross?
No,
I don't think they do. I don't think there is. Maybe that guy like inside the actor's studio guy, maybe.
Oh yeah, what is that? Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever that dude's name is, he kind of looks like a monster. But
Acting.
That guy,
right?
Does a great interview, but she does an amazing interview.
She's an
outstanding. She just lets people talk.
Yeah,
she just lets you talk. She gives you a question that you can absolutely crush, and she just lets you go.
And she just seems to like put people at ease.
Yeah, she
doesn't matter who she's got, except Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons and her didn't get along. It's a very famous interview.
Yeah.
Did you hear that interview?
I don't think I did. I know that he was like rude to her. Or whatever.
Oh, he was. It is. If you guys get a chance, actually Google Terry Gross and Gene Simmons interview. It is probably the most horrifically awkward thing you'll ever listen. He's so sexually crude with Terry Gross.
Really?
It's awful. And she is just not having it.
Really?
Yeah. It's genuinely appalling. He's an appalling human being. How the Republican Party came to embrace conspiracy theories and denialism. So this is an interview between Terry Gross and Washington Post columnist Dana Milbank. And it is a fascinating interview. It's based on his book, The Destructionists.
Yeah.
Just an outstanding, interesting interview that really like brings all of this back and lays it at the hands of the operatives who worked in the W administration.
And even further with Gingrich, right?
Yes,
so
I keep forgetting that.
It starts with Gingrich.
Thank you.
And what I love about this is during this interview, and it's 42 minutes long, it's worth your time, it's in the notes, take a look at it. But during this interview, there's so many times that he mentioned something that I did not know that was happening at the time that matches the dialogue of today to show you that the stuff that we're in right now, this very sort of diametrically opposed sides is not a new phenomenon. In fact, this type of thing has been going on for quite some time. And in fact, several of the things that you've heard in the past few years that you thought might have been created, like stuffing ballot boxes and dead people voting, was used by John Ashcroft during the Bush election.
Yeah.
The absolute vilification of people through Gingrich and how that has changed the face of politics. All of this it's something that we knew, but like they really spend a great deal of time explaining in great detail on how every single major member of that party was just such a piece of shit, and they have fomented this for decades.
It is exactly true that you look at all of this MAGA bullshit and all this stop the steal, but like none of that is organic. All of it is strategic. All of that is strategic. None of that happened as a direct organic result of the times we find ourselves in. That is what the right would try to have you believe, but the very language itself refers, as you said, it refers back to another time. The Brooks Brothers riot, which is the stop counting the votes rioting that was intentionally organized by Roger Stone and Ashcroft in order to gain Florida and stop the count in Florida so that the recount couldn't take place. The recount, by the way, would have had Gore win. But all of that shit, it exactly mimics the stop the steal language. It exactly mimics the stop the steal rhetoric. It's the same people doing it. It's the exact Karl Rove, a chief architect of this sort of like destructionist policies that are called out in this story and in this book. Karl Rove is still an influential political actor on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, this also it makes us think about sort of where we're at today and where I was talking about diametrically opposed parties. We were talking, Tom and I, we're both older, so we recognize and understand that back when we were kids, and now I wasn't super politically active as a kid and I didn't know a lot, but it never really seemed to be this like back and forth, like everybody at each other's throats. And there felt like there was a way to communicate between parties that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And you lay this at the feet of Newt Gingrich, who came in to fight against all of them and say, look, we need to basically say that they're bad people.
Yeah. Newt created the strategy of vilification and the departure from trying to reach the center.
Yeah.
And out loud and everything. Like this isn't like this is his words out loud and everything. So it used to be that both parties to some degree would say, all right, we've got our base and we'll count on them. And then we're all fighting for the heart of the center of America. We're all fighting for the vote of the independent. What Newt realized is that if you vilify the other side to a great enough degree, you can motivate more people in your base to show up than you can ever get the center to vote on, to convert to your side. Sure. So the radicalization of politics is a direct result of the strategic vilification of the other party. And that Gingrichian policy.
It sounds like fucking Cthulhian.
It does. It sounds
Gingrichian.
Yeah. Well, it's because his fucking heart is two sizes too small,
He stared into the abyss a long time.
Looked right back at him.
Fucking, it fucked him. Are you kidding me?
It's fucking fascinating, but it's also, I remember, we've said it on the show, and I believe it so strongly. George W. Bush is the worst president that America has ever seen, far worse than Donald Trump. Yeah. You can lay far more death.
You're right. So much
at the feet of W.
Yeah.
But really the big reason that W was so dangerous is that he brought this cadre of extremely smart and horrifyingly evil motherfuckers. The Rumsfelds, the Roves, the Cheneys, the Ashcrofts. Yeah. These are names that are infamous, and they continue to have this domino effect of evil into the world.
Yeah, and it ain't going away because they just keep on. They have infected a new generation of Republicans. Yeah, and they're even more awful than the previous group. The speech that Biden gave tonight very much addresses this idea that there are rational people on both sides.
Yeah, right.
And that what we need to do is reach out to everybody and be like, this is more important than party right now. This divisiveness that is essentially stalling everything we've ever tried to do is worse for our nation than, the other side getting a win or whatever it is that we're so afraid of. And, I recognize that, the problem is that on one side, there's been a push so strong on the Republican side to, white nationalism, to very extreme places that have threatened, people's existence. We're talking about, think of how different life is right now in our America versus maybe, 10 years ago for a trans person.
Yeah.
Same for a person of color. You know what I mean? There's a serious push from white nationalists, and white nationalists they branch out into all different kinds of hate. So they hate all different kinds of people.
They are equal opportunity haters.
100%. Yeah, that's the only thing that
they're equal about.
That's the only place where they like affirmative action.
Right.
But they're genuinely terrible people, and they've taken a main stage on a lot of these platforms, and the right has been courting them for a long time. And so I understand that, this is exactly what the president was saying tonight. There's a MAGA group out there that are not trying to help the country, and they want to hurt people.
And they are sowing the seeds of discord in order to gain personal political power.
Yeah.
And financial power.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing.
That's what this boils down to for these fuckers, right?
And they don't care what they break in the way.
They don't. Because look at, a great example of the microcosm of the hell that we will experience if this continues to grow out of control is DeSantis's Florida.
Yeah.
DeSantis has turned Florida from, Florida man bites alligator to a genuinely frightening place to consider living at this point. The idea of raising kids in DeSantis's Florida, the book banning that is taking place all over the American red states is fucking crazy town. Remember when it would be banned book month and you'd go to the library, you'd walk by a bookstore, and they very proudly put the books that had been banned in the front window. Yeah. And the idea was books are representative of ideas, and in no free society should we do anything other than push back against the idea of banning books. We are now living in a country where school after school and public library after public library are being stripped of their of their books being ideas, literal ideas are being pulled off the shelves because we are that fearful. We are that fearful of exposing people to challenge, exposing people to intellectual rigor, exposing people to ideas that we find frightening or different or scary. And I'm not talking, and then they couch it in this bullshit, grooming language, none of which is honest and none of which is true and all of which is incendiary, like turning America into Florida. Holy shit, Florida doesn't want to be Florida. Go to Florida. You go to Florida, the first thing you want to do is leave Florida.
The other thing too is DeSantis really does embody a lot of things that Trump embodied. And one of those things is attacking political rivals.
Yeah.
Look at what he did with Disney.
Right.
Look at going toe-to-toe with Disney. Like these are bad decisions that these people are making. Very publicly. I hope, who knows what's going to happen. DeSantis leaving Florida to become president. That sounds like
terrifying.
That sounds like season 3 of America is going to get canceled.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
God is a bit of a freak.
Sister comes from the Dallas Morning News. Southlake Schools rejects "In God We Trust" signs featuring rainbows and Arabic.
I'm going to open up this as a new text. So people who can't see this at home, there is one that is of Arabic, and it literally says, "In God We Trust." As somebody had said that they translated it directly to Arabic. And the other one is a rainbow flag looking thing of "In God We Trust." And so they took the rainbow, the LGBTQ rainbow, and they took the Arabic language. And it turns out that these people who they're not allowed to refuse them supposedly.
Well,
but they said, well, we've got enough.
We've got enough. Yeah. It's interesting because there's a new law that was passed that says that schools have to display "In God We Trust" signs, but weirdly, they're not allowed to spend their own money buying the signs. So the signs have to be donated. And the law doesn't specify how many signs they have to display, but they have to display somewhere in their school, "In God We Trust," as if that's just a thing on our money. Yeah. That's just a thing on our money. What the fuck?
It shouldn't even be on our money either. And it wasn't.
It wasn't until the fucking Red Scare freaked people out because we're a bunch of idiots.
It wasn't.
So I think it's really interesting that just by writing it in Arabic, all of a sudden it's okay, well, this sort of does make you uncomfortable, right? Because
that's all it took.
You're not saying which God. I'm not saying which God either. But I'll just say it in Arabic. Oh, I don't want it.
They basically said, well, we don't think we can use them. It's funny because they go out of their way to mention in this article that the people who came with the other "In God We Trust" signs, they took a big picture with the school board or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But with these, they're like, no, we don't want them.
No, we're going to pass.
I would make them take a picture with it. I'd be like, no, man, you took pictures with the other ones. You got to take a picture with these.
Take a picture.
Take a picture with these.
This is part of the sort of not at all sneaky backdoor, not at all backdoor way that Christianity is being forced.
Yeah.
And they're doing it under the guise of religious freedom, but you test it. You test this religious freedom.
Yeah. I mean, it's 100%.
It's the only, it's not even preferential at all. It's fucking exclusive.
This is it.
That's it, man.
Yeah. And
this is some Gilead shit.
Really
We're headed down the road to Gilead. We've already fucking taken women's rights away.
There's just no fighting against this. They just get away with it because they're just the problem is, and this has been the problem for a long time, consistency doesn't bother them. Cognitive dissonance doesn't bother them. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't cause pain like it would to you or me. If somebody catches us in a place where we're holding two separate ideas that seem to be at odds, and yet we seem to be holding them, it would maybe cause us some sort of consistency, some sort of discomfort, some sort of cognitive dissonance.
Right.
But instead, what happens here is they're just like, no, man, we don't want that one.
Yeah, because they're not trying to square the circle with their principles. Their principle is, look, I'll do what I have to do to get my Christian principles into school.
Ends justify the means mentality. Yeah.
And the thing is that you can't appeal to a scrupulous principled authority because the arbiters of these disputes are themselves biased.
Yeah, right.
What are you going to do in Texas? You're going to go to fucking some judge in Texas?
You're not going to do anything.
Some judge in Texas is going to be like,
give a fuck.
Hee-haw, yo, dig about it. And then that's it. They're going to fucking go rootin' tootin'.
Whoever got appointed by the Republicans down there, they don't give a fuck. They're like, fuck off. Like, what? They're right. You're wrong. Go.
Do you remember in Texas where they almost ran that fucking Biden bus off the road?
Yeah.
And Texas, like, they fucking called the cops, and Texas cops were like, we're not really going to show up. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, nothing. They literally almost, like, ran a fucking political rival's bus off the fucking, he wasn't in it. It was a bunch of staffers.
They attacked the Capitol and nothing happened.
I know. I don't even know why I'm saying this.
Although, there was a guy who got a lot of time.
Yeah, that NYPD guy, ex-NYPD guy got, like 10 years or something.
He, like, tried to, I saw that they were saying he tried to appeal to the jury. He asked for a jury. And then he basically kept on saying, it wasn't my fault. They egged me on. They made me beat them with the stick or whatever.
What?
Yeah, that's what his defense was, essentially.
So wait a minute. If the cop fucks with you,
do it.
As an ex-cop, he's like, if the cop fucks with you, you can hit him with a stick.
Yeah, the cop fuck with you, you can hit him with a stick. That's what
I don't think we believe that.
He 100% got sentenced.
He did. He got the biggest sentence delivered yet. Yep.
Bye. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you and fuck all those other people. You know, here's the thing, man. Like, you guys 100% knew you were fucking breaking the law. You knew you were fucking entering a place where you shouldn't be. You knew you were doing it. Here's the thing, man. Every single person who ever does that on the left that goes to jail, they know what's going to happen to them.
Yeah, there's no confusion.
There's no confusion.
Yeah.
You can watch and see every single one of those people being like, all right, I got to go to jail.
There's no oh me, oh my.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah,
they know.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. They're trying to fight back, trying to get away.
Sure.
But they know they're
once
going
caught,
to jail.
they're caught.
They know they're going to jail. And they get sentenced. And they get fucking hit hard all the time.
You've reached the national headquarters of the Catholic Church. No one is available to take your call. If you'd like to report sexual abuse...
Damn, there's got to be somebody we can call for an exorcism.
You is a bitch.
May white God bless you, Robert. I came as fast as I could.
I just got to read like most of this because it's crazy. This comes from Only Sky.
Great photo, by the way. Is that Shutterstock? What is that?
Is it?
Shutterstock.
Oh, it's so good.
That's fucking amazing. Look at that.
That is a great photo, guys. If you get a chance.
That's actually a Hemet Meta cosplay.
This is from Only Sky. A Bible camp staffer performed a useless exorcism on an injured child.
Hold on. I would argue that every exorcism is useless.
Yeah, that's kind of a redundant statement,
I would say,
right?
it feels like a redundant statement.
It is. It's like saying the wet water.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean.
The ATM machine.
Right, yeah, exactly, right, yeah. Back in July at Redberry Bible Camp outside Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon,
Saskatchewan.
Interesting. We're talking about a Canadian story, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
You betcha. A boy approximately 13 years old was found on the ground, bleeding from his nose and writhing in agony. Instead of rushing him to the nearest hospital, a Bible camp staffer...
Is it writhing or writhing?
I've heard it pronounced both ways, and I pronounce it randomly, whichever way I feel.
All right, guys, which is it, writhing or writhing? I've always heard it writhing. So you guys tell us. Tell us, because I don't know. I've heard it both ways.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll do.
Hold on. Is there more than one?
A boy approximately 13 years old was found on the ground, bleeding from his nose and writhing in agony.
Okay, thanks.
So now you guys can decide which one of those versions you like.
Okay.
Instead of rushing him to the nearest hospital, a Bible camp staffer decided to perform an exorcism. And then the staffer announced he had a
What's your thought process? What's your fucking what's that fucking flow chart on that?
Right.
Like, I found someone in agony. Flow chart says literally, if I just find someone, it's exorcism. It doesn't matter if they're
it's probably agony demons.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do you remember the sugar demons, lady?
Oh yeah, sugar demons.
The sugar demons were just like, the reason you eat sugar is sugar demons. The reason you want caffeine is caffeine. Everything had a demon.
Everything had a demon.
It was like fucking patron saints.
This is injury demons.
This is injury demons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
Then the staffer announced he had eradicated the demon possessing the boy. And I love this part. It's my favorite line in the whole thing. And then the staffer handed out his business cards to all the kids watching all this horrifying spectacle unfold.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Business card. What's on the business card? Is it a...
your mother sucks cock. Does your mother suck cocks in hell? Call Tom.
Because he would like to get in on that.
And by the way, the staffer was hired to work with kids despite his past pornography and drug addictions.
Which were on the business card.
It's like a fucking index business card.
It's like a scroll, like pops it out like... amazing.
Despite admitting to domestic violence and despite getting fired from his previous job as a camp counselor.
Whoa, this guy's got a checkered past.
That's a lot. There's no indication that the boy received actual medical help. How the fuck? Okay, so some kid is on the ground. He's in terrible pain. Mm-hmm. He's either writhing or writhing.
One or the other.
He's got choices. We're not trying to take that away. His fucking schnoz is bleeding. You fucking say some non-magic words over him. Is he now done with his writhing, writhing?
No, because before you have to before you leave, you have to make it rain with your business cards.
Right? Are all the rest of the kids like,
hey kids, want a business card?
Has this ever happened to you? Oh God, it hurts so bad. Have I got a business card for you? The fuck?
They like spritz him with a little water. They throw a little water on you. They light a little incense. They wave a cross in your face. And then they give you a business card. Whatever you do, don't sign anything.
You know.
Don't sign anything.
You know that guy had those cards and he was like, finally, my chance.
Oh my God.
My chance.
Oh man.
He's giving out, also you're giving out business cards to kids at summer camp. Do you think they're going to put them in their fucking duct tape wallets they just made? Oh, a business card. Hey, as a 12-year-old, I love business cards.
An extensive collection of business cards. Let me put this in my Rolodex.
Well, you know the kids these days. Oh, I'm always putting business cards in the spokes of my tires. Makes it.
Fuck, dude? This fucking story is amazing. Outstanding.
We only know the details about this incident because an official with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police who saw complaints filed against the church camp spoke with the CBC. The church camp in question is affiliated with the Saskatchewan Mennonite Brethren, a very conservative denomination that's not necessarily known for believing in exorcisms. As for the suspect, this I love. His now deactivated Facebook page detailed his journey to Jesus, which included all those details above about his troubling history. So the reason they know about his fucking domestic violence and his porn addiction and his drug problem and his firing was because that's what he put on his own Facebook page.
Jesus Christ.
Why would you put that on my Facebook page makes me look like I am a better man with a better life.
My Facebook page is like once in a while a joke and a cat.
Right.
That's it.
It's like, here's my vacation photos.
That's the extent of it. Yeah, once in a while somebody will tag me in a photo.
Right.
That's it.
You're not like, here's the things I jerked off to and I can't stop. Like, what? That's your Facebook?
Actually, you know what? You just changed my Facebook philosophy.
The following list of reasons is why my dick is chafed raw.
I'm just going to start posting recipes I jerked off to. I'm trying to combine interests. It's a niche audience, but I think it'll work.
You know what? Sometimes you have to kill two birds with one stone.
Wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing?
What
YouTube
a great
channel?
Cookbook.
Wouldn't it be a great YouTube channel? Recipes I jerked off to. That'd be
Holy
fucking
shit.
outstanding.
All right, that's it. We're rebranding season liberally.
If anybody wants to take that, it's yours. Recipes I jerked off to is yours. You could just send me a very small royalty check.
I guarantee there is a market for a cookbook that's just like alternating pornography and recipes. Where it's just like,
well, they serve sushi on naked bodies.
That's what it means. Just like, it's like whatever you made, just like some fucking naked person holding up a platter of crudités or whatever.
Where do you take the sushi from?
On the naked body?
On the naked body. Where's the first place you reach for?
I don't know, man. Like
sushi on the naked body.
Sushi on the naked body? Oh, you got to go from the navel. Because it's sort of like seafaring around there. It's just it's naval. Seafaring. I don't know. Like is that like one of those like nudie pens where like you turn it over so you like slowly uncover the good parts?
You got to see. Oh, like Does the first guy walk up and take a nipple? Like does the first guy take a nipple?
That kills the whole moment.
Does the guy take a nipple or like a clit one or whatever?
Okay, wait. Okay, so hang on a minute. See, so when you're eating your dinner, I know how to answer this question. When you are eating your dinner, do you save the best bite for last or you eat the best bite first?
Best bite for last always.
Okay, so you know what you're going to leave.
So yeah,
you're going to...
She'll just have like, or he will just have like...
They'll have all the good bits still covered up.
The nipples and the dong will be covered. Right. But the rest, the balls will be out. But the rest will be...
The ball,
I go for the balls first. I figure you go for the nuts
If you
first.
still have an appetite after fucking getting after the balls...
Can you imagine pulling a piece of sushi off some dude's balls and then eating it? Like, what the fuck, man? Jesus Christ.
You've got to think to yourself when you do that. Like when you reach out with your chopsticks.
You like reach out and you kind of get a little bit of the sex to go with it. And you're like, fuck.
Sorry, man. I thought that was a sushi. They look the same. It basically looks the same.
I thought it was chicken skin out there. I didn't realize.
I ain't eating raw poultry.
100% you're shaved though. Because you don't want to pull out fucking like a thing and then like somebody's got a big hole.
No, man. If I'm getting paid, I'm just going all natural. Because you know what? That is not my problem.
And I want to be on natural for a long time too, so they can floss with my hair afterwards.
Yeah, I got to figure, if you've paid me to be naked and you're eating fucking sushi off of me, you're in this for a weird day. You're not trying to have a regular fucking Wednesday.
Is that a real thing that people ever... I know that like you see it in like movies or whatever. I'm just curious if that like... I don't know if that's like an urban legend and somebody was like, let's put it in a movie because it's funny.
It's so weird. Why just sushi too?
Yeah, it seems really weird.
Like what if you just get like a whole...
I say just cook a pizza on it.
She's like, oh, hot. Oh, shit. Fuck.
You put a Chicago pizza on it, just crunches it.
I broke her fucking back. God damn it. We go through more nude food models this way, guys.
New York one on, the rat underneath it just runs
away. Maybe it's because sushi's not hot. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Because you can't put them in a chafing. Although if you rub enough sushi on,
it's gonna chafe. Yeah, you are the chafing dish. What a weird thing. I am kink shaming. That's a weird thing to do.
It is a weird thing to do. Although it's not kinky because like nobody's doing anything to like.
I guess, but like you said, it's a weird combining of interests.
It's a weird.
Am I supposed to be turned on or eating dinner? I don't mix those things. Like I'll eat dinner.
One guy furiously eating his way around the boob. Just keeps on going.
Just come. I fucking had a late lunch. I didn't even want this. Just like,
I didn't even want this.
For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in the dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Ephesians 6:12. The end.
This story comes from DeadState. Latinos for Trump founder says Trump's legal troubles are because he's not used to fighting in the spiritual realm. And this, I do remember why I wanted to read this.
It's a thing.
It is. Okay. You want to listen to it?
Yeah, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. So here we go. This crazy lady's been on here a bunch. She's been on our show a couple times. So.
And that like guy on the right looks like if Joel McHale went on like a fucking 30-day bender. Like, really?
Guys, you got to see it. He's one of those guys who thinks that it looks cool to keep your shirt like really rumpled. All right, so this is that clip from that article.
Because I did not listen to your voice. I didn't go seek your counsel. I stopped. Whatever it is, you've got to do what you've got to do. You're going to keep getting attacked because if you do not surround yourself with people who are used to fighting principalities in a spiritual realm, you're going to get your...
How do you nod along with that? This guy's just nodding along.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What are you talking about? We're talking about politics on this show, and you come in and you're like, no, man, it's like, there's a fucking angel fist fighting a demon right above his shoulder.
You got to fight the principalities in the nether realm. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was playing fucking Minecraft. I thought I was in life. Are you serious? I'm sorry, I got to bring a fucking lava bucket to this fucking thing? The fuck out of here.
I hand it to you every single time. And I don't know if he just doesn't know that. I think he definitely doesn't have Hispanic evangelicals around him. I can tell you that. I know it. We see it. There's no, faith leaders coming in and out of Mar-a-Lago right now.
Well, of course not. He was grifting you guys the whole time. Here's the thing, you stupid asshole motherfuckers. He didn't give a shit about the evangelicals before. Then he cared on paper out loud in order to impress you dumb, impressionable dipshits. And the second he doesn't need you anymore, he doesn't care. He never cared.
Never cared. He never
You're
cared
stupid.
For a second about you. He literally used you. This is you waking up and seeing the $20 on the fucking nightstand.
That's exactly right.
That's what this is. I mean, get the fuck out of you. Fucking should know better. You should know that you were used.
Sympathy.
You should know that you were used.
Yep.
Counseling him, his family, praying with him,
Yeah, the only people going in and out of Mar-a-Lago nowadays are FBI agents.
Right, yeah.
Your house has just been raided. Where's the Hispanic evangelicals? Where's it?
Yeah, they should have protected him from the raid. Like what? Yeah.
But also, that's a really niche thing for him. Like, at what point are you like, whoa, things have gone wrong. Let me dial up the Hispanic evangelical community. Is that a big community?
I don't know. I
thought Hispanics leaned primarily toward Catholicism as a rule.
Too. I thought they did too. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a deep South American Catholic link.
And I know that there's
South
a
and
big
Central America.
Same thing with Mexico.
I said South and Central America.
Yeah.
It's a deep link between the Catholic Church and there. I mean, you go down there and there's huge Catholic churches all over.
Right.
So everywhere that I've been in South America, because I've never been, I guess I have been to Central America a couple times, but not.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Mexico. I've been to
the places that I visited.
I've been to Belize, and I've been to
places that I visited. I've seen Catholic churches and toured Catholic churches, so I know that they exist.
Any evangelical, I don't care if you're Hispanic or not. Where is the faith leaders? Where are they? But you know what? They can't just appear and go knock on Mar-a-Lago. He needs to be the one to invite him in and say, okay, look.
They're like vampires.
Thank you.
They're like vampires. You gotta let the right one in. That's the key.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. That's the Swedish evangelicals.
There's two of them. They're only there for the fucking, like, the meatballs.
Yeah, they show up, they're just beautiful and well-behaved and just like, fuck, you can come in, fine.
This world has gone chaotic and it's mad. Obviously, I'm doing something wrong. I need my spiritual leaders back in here. Spiritual leaders need to come back in here. We need to figure this out. We need to pray. We need strategy. I don't know what else to do. You need to go in your prayer closet because let me tell you something. You don't want to put me in prayer
closet.
Here's what I don't get. Like I thought he was the chosen one. So if he's the chosen one, does he really have to facilitate this? Shouldn't he just be the chosen one and God just be like, I was looking out for you the whole time.
Yeah, right.
I whatnot. No, you don't even have to bother with any of that prayer stuff, Mr. Trump. I got you the whole time. Instead, he's like, well, I ain't doing anything unless Mr. Trump starts praying.
That's exactly like, if you're the chosen one, why do you still have to ask God specifically for attention?
Yeah.
Isn't God watching you?
Yeah, like, didn't you choose me, fucko?
Right.
Like, what the hell, man?
That's what chosen one would seem to fucking imply.
So fucking stupid.
What's delightful about this is she's saying the quiet part out loud, which is we feel abandoned and used.
Yeah.
And we're fucking confused.
Yeah. And he needs
but the answer is like, he never cared about any of you stupid asshole.
And what is being embraced by him now do for you?
Right.
Nothing. Because he's not in power. And he's actually it looks like it's all starting to fall around him.
And like, if you're him, why would he call you?
Yeah.
He never gave a shit. He was lying to you the whole time, dumb.
He wants to call.
Trump. The first thing I'd say to him is, sir, first of all, I ain't even going to talk to you because you need to go in a prayer closet. You need to find a closet. You better go get on your knees and you better pray and repent for whatever it is because you've offended the Lord. You were chosen to lead this country and you've offended him in some big way. And that's why you're not in the White House right now.
Yeah, he stole documents from the Lord.
Yeah. I sort of feel like she's the only one half seeing what's going on.
There's a lot of leopards ate my face stuff happening on the right now. There's a lot of that. And this is one of those moments where there's so often the right feels like you could give him a little nudge.
I know.
A little nudge.
Yes.
But if you think about that in a tiny different way, you could see that he never cared about you at all. Right?
Can you see that? Close.
Can you see that? You know, and I think there's a lot of that happening now because they definitely feel abandoned because he hasn't been doing anything except for just like he's been on the defensive too much. He hasn't been attacking the people they hate. Right? All he's been doing is trying to be defensive and that's why they like him, man. They don't like him because of anything he can do for him. The only thing they can do for him is be an avatar to fight people they hate.
Yes. Right. And I think they're baffled as to why he's no longer pandering to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, because he doesn't
need you right now. He will.
Don't worry, stupid. He'll pander to you again.
Give him 2 years. If he's running, he'll pander.
Right.
But if he's not running or if he's somewhere else or whatever, then.
But you're absolutely fucking high if you think he's going to go in a prayer closet.
Yeah.
And like, because he was lying
I don't think
fake prayed. He fucking 2 Timothy.
Yeah. He doesn't know
2 Timothy 5.
He doesn't know anything about prayer at all. He only knows enough to manipulate.
Yeah. Which doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. Because he doesn't know much.
Right.
So all it took was him pretending to be earnest for 5 minutes.
That's it.
And not even that.
No, because they were so fucking eager to buy this.
They were willing to believe. And that's all it took was just him to be like, yeah, tell me about that guy.
How completely unshocking is it that they were this willing to believe?
Yeah.
Like being fucking eager to believe.
Being gullible and being this eager to believe.
And being this eager to believe in an ultimate authority, in a fascistic authority.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, you're fucking that prompt was primed since birth for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Who said billions and billions?
That I can answer very quickly. It's someone named Johnny Carson. I never said it. I never, ever said
He's
it.
off the hook, everybody.
I mean, it's sort of like Humphrey Bogart never said, play it again, Sam. Nobody believes it.
I love this story. This story comes from ABC News. Fox News' Sean Hannity set to be deposed as part of billion-dollar election lawsuit. So we've talked about this on the show before, but this is the way out of the conspiracy quagmire that we are in.
Yeah.
And it is a financial civil attack that is the only way we get out of this. Dominion Voting Systems is suing Fox News. Sean Hannity is going to be deposed as part of that lawsuit. They are not backing down from this lawsuit. No matter how this shakes out, this will cost Fox millions of dollars just to defend.
It's going to cost them millions of dollars to defend. And there is 0% chance, I think, for looking at the things that they've done and that Newsmax and all these other places have done, One American News Network, all these places that have talked about Dominion as if they were the ones who were controlling the election and changing votes. That's damaging to the brand. That's like every time you mention Coke, you talk about like there's a mouse in Coke or something.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. You're damaging the brand every single time. And you're lying. Like if you can prove there's a mouse in every Coke, then you got something to say. But if you can't do that and you come out and you say a bunch of unsubstantiated lies every single time that you have air, and there's so many people listening to you, and it's not just the people listening to you, it's that you're being clipped out and then shared on all these social networks all across the world in giant Republican silos and right-leaning silos that want to talk about how Trump lost the election because of this company even in some of the documents that were court cases, they were talking about how like fucking Hugo Chavez or whatever.
Who's dead
had like shit to do with it. So like it's all lies that has been spread constantly for a long time. And these people should have been smarter than this. I don't know how you get on a show that has that many viewers and you don't have in-house counsel that is smarter than this.
Yeah, I think that this is going to set up an interesting test case that is going to be like a showdown between defamation and libel versus First Amendment rights. And I do think, though, that if you are a purported news service, that your First Amendment rights have to in some way include good faith journalistic efforts. I can't imagine that a total lack of scrupulous behavior and good faith journalistic effort somehow shields you because First Amendment, I can say whatever I want. The thing is, like, you can say whatever you want. The government didn't swoop in and stop you. The fucking FBI didn't kick down your door. The fucking, Justice Department didn't like bulldoze down your broadcast towers. You still have that right. It's just that sometimes there are consequences. And what's great is these are civil, not criminal consequences.
Right.
So the strength, I think, of that First Amendment argument is significantly weakened in this circumstance.
The problem is they don't know the difference. So
the people don't respect the difference.
The people that they're reaching out to and they're trying to motivate by using this as a way to say, look at them attacking us, those people don't know the difference.
Right. That's true.
So when there's so often you have to actually say out loud, no, that's only, I don't know how many times I've even seen it written out where the people talk about, it's that's only what the government can do. It's not, the First Amendment doesn't refer to anything else, but people don't get it. They don't understand.
They don't.
This is all falling out because, we're seeing Alex Jones now.
Yep.
Really in some serious problems.
$45 million worth of problems.
Lots of money.
So far.
Lots of money that has to come out of his pocket. and his company's pocket. And this was for lying. This was for the same thing. This is, I mean, lying about Sandy Hook is the same thing as lying about Dominion voting machines. I would argue that this is even worse because you're outwardly damaging democracy by saying that our voting systems aren't secure. Yeah, I would say it's worse. I would say it's worse.
It is.
But it doesn't matter in a civil court what's worse or better. But if you can prove damages, then, and you prove they're lying, like, here's the thing, like, it's pretty easy to prove they're lying. Be like, show me that you have any kind of data that'll show me that that's true. And then they don't. They were just making it up because they knew it was going to get them clicks. They knew it was going to get them views. And they knew it was going to get them what they wanted, which was people glued to find out the next piece that they were going to uncover about Dominion.
Yeah. And also, it's come out and it's been very clear that Fox News was in it for the money, but they had a strict political agenda. Guys like Hannity had a direct line to the president.
Literally
and to like Mark Meadows.
Yeah.
So these are like, there's no hands off. There's no distance here. There's no like veil of separation between the Fourth Estate and the president in this case. So I think it's absolutely about the grift. And I think it's also about like a real political motivated interest that these fuckers have. The way out of this fucking conspiracy quagmire is to make this so painful financially that the startup conspiracy theorists can't ever get their feet off the ground because they're too afraid to do it. So what I mean by that is like, Alex Jones financially will probably survive $45 million judgment. Fox News will probably survive whatever the settlement or judgment is. But if you're the next up-and-comer conspiracy quack, and you don't have the big, deep pockets of an established conspiracy business model, if the fear of God is put into you financially ahead of time by seeing cases like Dominion and seeing cases like Sandy Hook, you might think fucking twice.
Yeah.
Because like your pockets probably aren't that fucking big, you know? And I have to hope that that's the case. I have to hope that this has a really stultifying effect on like burgeoning conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, I hope it has a chilling effect, but then I also very much hope it hurts the people enough so that they don't keep doing it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I hope that after this, you know, when Hannity wants to run a story like this, he does get stopped by his special counsel or whatever, the counsel that's there, or the in-house counsel, and they walk up to him and they say, no, you can't. No, man, we can't do this. We can't do this. We can't afford it. We can't afford you talking about this.
Right.
You know, we were talking about a story that we were listening to today on Fresh Air, and in that story, they talk about the guy who wound up dying by suicide from the Clintons camp.
Oh,
Vince something or
Vigo.
Vince Foster was his name, and so Vince Foster, you know, they made a mint off of him. Rush Limbaugh talked about it forever. You know, all these guys on Fox News, they brought it up time and time and time again. Enough so that, like, you know, we're talking about immense investigations into this guy. Immense investigations, multiple investigations by governmental agencies are investigating this. And so, you know, they got away with that. And they use that to their advantage to demonize Bill Clinton because they didn't just say he did it. They were just like, well, there's a lot of questions.
Right.
There's a lot of things that don't add up. And that's
insidious.
Well, it's insidious, but that's genuinely where conspiracy theorists get all their strength from.
Yeah.
Is that, well, I don't know, every single end isn't tied up perfectly, so I can easily unravel a whole bunch of shit and make you question reality. And that's what happens constantly with these. They just find one knife way in. And then it's horrible. And these people feed that shit because they know that their fucking listeners and the people, they want it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Rush Limbaugh makes money doing this, right? Like the juicier, the juicier, doesn't make shit anymore.
No. You can just throw it on his grave.
Fucking makes worm food now. But yeah, they all make money. They all make money on this nonsense, on these lies. And the bigger that they grow, and the less, like the more nebulous they are, the more people love to fill in their own blanks. To fill in the fucking gaps in the corners.
Yeah, and you were saying too, like, you know, these people in media were doing this, but then also one of our Supreme Court justices, Brett Kavanaugh, was involved in stirring up the muck around this too, this Vince Foster thing.
These guys, like these bad actors, continue to play in the same circles over and over and over again. The same fucking bad pennies pop up time and time and time again. And they've made a career out of working the system. And when I say working the system, what I mean is the public information sphere system. That's the thing that they are making a mint, manipulating the opinions and feelings of a group of people in this country who are primed to believe in bullshit.
Yeah.
They love to manipulate those people because it makes them money.
Yeah.
That's all this is about for these fuckers.
Every time.
It creates power, opportunity, and money for these motherfuckers.
So that's going to wrap it up. I want to thank you for joining us on YouTube. If you check it out, we tried to tonight. We're not sure if problem was we thought there was going to be a rebuttal of the Biden speech. So we ran upstairs real quick to try to get on and hook up the internets and maybe do a live version of the rebuttal. But it turns out it was a pre-buttal done at 4 Seasons Total Machining by Kevin McCarthy. And so you can watch us watching that video. It's on our live stream piece somewhere, I don't know, down here or up there or wherever it's put. So you can watch that other video. It was our live stream from last week. We will not be live streaming this upcoming Thursday. So we will not be around, but we will be around the following Thursday. So you come back, hang out with us. But next Thursday, we're going to be busy. We're actually recording early. It's our hope to have Aaron Rabinowitz on. We're going to be talking about an article from The Atlantic that was written by Jonathan Haidt. And Jonathan Haidt is part of the intellectual deep web. Is that what he calls it?
Dark web?
Dark web, deep web. But Aaron Rabinowitz knows all about him. And so we're going to talk about it with him. It was an article that Tom and I really both liked, but we also want to talk about Jonathan Haidt too, because it seems like there's some
problematic
stuff that's happening. Yeah. So it's going to be a really
problematically adjacent.
It's going to be a really interesting conversation. We're anxious to have it. It's going to be coming next week. We're recording it a little early, but it'll be posted next Monday, the following Monday. We want to thank you for coming in here. Thank you for hanging out. And we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.